All right, Jeff, securing the structure now. If you want to bring the cable down, that'd be absolutely lovely. Yes, I have got it properly secured. All you need to do, just ease it down. I mean, let's get this right first time. We don't want to hoik the entire thing off the face of the planet now, do we? Gently, man, gently. I said slowly. Jeff, you're a ruddy joker. Yeah, it's all connected. Right, go and get back to work. I had a dream, friends, where I would have a magnificent base built around the outside of Splendid Canyon, which is, of course, where we are. And that dream involved trucks majestically strolling around the joint in order... Hold on. No, you see, you can't go for a flipping magnificent camera angle while you're driving a truck, and do not reverse it off the edge of this platform. No, I've made a few changes since the deployment of the space elevator. Again, with the camera angles. I've made a few changes since the deployment of that which we have come to know as the space elevator. And as you can see, the changes are more than a little significant. I'm not really driving around this truck for any purpose, other than it felt like a fun way to show you around the joint. Now here is Power Central. We are currently kicking out way more power than we need, but that's a good thing, because otherwise we wouldn't be kicking out enough power, and that would be bad. Have we had a power interruption lately? There seems to be a gap in proceedings there. Could be. I don't know. But there it is anyway. Right, let's go back this way again. The coal now being piped all the way up here is rather splendid. No real changes as far as copper is concerned, except that I do now take it down to level 2 and do some interference with it there as well. No, do I take it down to level 1? I might do. I can't adequately remember. Hold on, gently. Go through certain death corner. There we go. That's it. You'll see that the radiation is afflicting us, no matter what manner of protection we do or don't have. Then you come over here, and we've got some of these going on. This is the old power plant. You've seen this before. They're all currently offline. They ran out of fuel ages ago, and I haven't bothered to replace it. And then over here we've got our inaugural truck stop. Say inaugural. Yeah, top me up on some juice. Give me some sugar. Juice me. Fill her up. Oh, we have filled up. Okay, that's all good. And then onto the iron smeltery, which is now also taking care of some steel. In fact, it might be worth me a while hopping off here. Let's hop off for a sec. So you'll see that we triple deck down here now. We're not messing around anymore. We're triple decking the business down there. So there's a bit of ore. Look, that's iron ore, that is. And then if I stand up here in a way that doesn't scoop me along the belt, you'll see we're also pummeling some coal into this as well, because this is kicking out the steel. Oh yeah, we make steel now. That's some news. I can't remember what I'm doing it for. Oh, just to unlock more stuff. You know what? Life would have been easier if I'd gone, you know what? All this tier 1 business, that'd probably be enough for me. I don't need to go any further than that. Can we get around the corner here? Probably. Good luck getting the truck back after that. That's all right. It's okay. Can we get underneath this belt? That's a hard no. Oh, shame. I had a great concept for things to do with tractors. I think that's the end of the tour. At least the tractor portion of the tour, I think, is possibly over at this point. However, we'll give it a go and see. Can I get under there? I might want to duck. It's just as well. I've got some back padding on, I suppose. Right, now then. How are you going to do this without removing the ramp? We could drive up the staircase. And... No, that's... no, you've hosed that. That's... No, we're not out yet. Monster truck. Beautiful. Plenty of torque on the monster truck. But beyond that, it's not actually that brilliant. There you go. You know, stick it in there. There you go. Yeah, collect whatever it is that I don't have on me. That's it. Yeah, bang it in there. Do nothing with it. I've not hooked that up to anything yet. But no, one of the things that I'd intended to do, I just pointed at the screen there. It was quite exciting. was build some ramps down from the truck stop here and go for a jaunt around the lower decks, maybe emerging out at the bottom, which would have been high drama, I'm sure. But I thought you'd like to see some more of the gubbins that we got going on. So as you can see, here's some copper output, and that's just going into storage. I've built quite a salubrious storage kind of setup. There you go. Look at that. Oh, isn't that good? Shut up. It is. Here we go. So storage is occurring over here. As you'll see, we've got copper wire in that one, and up the top is more copper wire. It appears one at a time, but I wanted double decking for my storage solution. So what occurs is it comes in down the bottom. Oh no, it goes into the bottom first, and then to the what? Hold on. No, I do know what this does, honestly. No, it comes into the top and then gets stored permanently in the bottom one. That gives me it gives me double the amount of storage, plus it allows me to do this kind of belt configuration at the back end, which really does look splendid. Next to that, we've got cable, and the only reason I'm storing it there is to, well, store it somewhere. You'll see that the number of downward facing steel iron belts is significant. That's steel on the end there. As you can see, we're really pile driving that out at a heck of a rate. And then over here we've got some steel bits. What are you? Your steel pipe. Good for you. Your steel pipe as well. And then every so often we also get a bit of steel beam, which I'm storing that as well. So as we look here, you'll see where the first one here, I believe this is pipes. It is. So the iron pipe is currently full, but the top deck is in the process of filling up. Then you've got plates, which filled up flipping ages ago. There you go. See, look, plates. And if we go up onto the belts at the back here, without being escorted around, you can see that they're all doing the same thing. It's like a majestic ballet of constructed items. Here you got these are frames, and they're modular, and I need some. All right, I'll take those. Thank you. And then moving on to the next one over, we've got what are you? Reinforced iron plate. Oh, I make that now as well. You don't want to see downstairs. It's horrendous. Then you've got rotors. They spin. They do. You can take it from me. Here's my steel storage department, where I've got them all mixed at the moment because why not? And then coming over onto the last one. Here we've got. Oh, I flip them around, don't I? So we've got motors. Beg your pardon. Which need motors and these stators, stator, whatever it is. I forget which, but I'm doing them manually right now. So you need 2 rotors and 2 stators to make a motor. All right. Well, what were you short on? You would need some rotors. Have some. There you go. I don't need them at the moment. So it doesn't kick them out very quickly. All of this is available to automate, obviously. And, in the fullness of time, I don't doubt that I probably will automate all of this, gubbins. But at the moment... Oi, steady on. There goes a motor, look. The motor... I need 50 motors, so we're going to have to wait for those for a bit. But who's really counting other than all of us? So once we've gone through this last one, and yes, we will sit here and wait for it to happen, then we'll go back onto stator production, which I'm pretty sure we build there. What are you in the market for? Oh, you're making steel something. This is a short order steel mill that we've got going on there in case I need some extra bits making. So that last motor has departed the building. There it goes, is over there. Right, so now we change the recipe. Stators, please. You need 3 steel pipes and 10 wire. Well, wire is not a problem. Have some. Steel pipes is also not a problem. We were at the steel holding vault a moment ago. There you go. Grab 100 of them. Nope, don't climb up the ladder unless you want to. Unintentional ladder climbing causes death. There we go. Right, so we now bang out stators at a rate of 6 a minute, which is fascinating, and I intend to spend the entire episode watching them all be built one at a time. There it comes. Good. And then later on we can turn that into another motor, which will be absolutely marvellous. Right, there you go. So that's that. I built myself a workbench over here. Now, that's one of the first things that you can build, because I found myself repeatedly running all the way back to the hub, which is still down there, although there's not much going on over there these days. Is there anything interesting? Oh yeah, there is something interesting. Yeah, well, we'll add that to the tour. But yeah, I thought instead of trotting all the way down there, I'll use this if I need anything urgently. Of course, it was only after I'd done 3, 4, 5 hours of constant trotting back downstairs before that occurred to me, which is superb. So in total, yeah, probably about 6 hours worth of finagling to get to this point, and every moment of it was stupendously riveting. So you have completely lost out in my not showing you that. Right, here we are back downstairs. This will all look eerily familiar. If you've seen any one of these anywhere ever before. But as you can see, stand on the... will you please... We're trying to do a tour. This will do. Right, so the steel is coming in there, and it's going into these 2 constructors that are turning it into stuff that goes out the back end. Now, such was my desperation to make this fit that we've even got a wonky merger system going on there. Sailor V. You'll see that the belt stacking technology that we have accomplished has become very, very heavily ingrained into everything we do, because I use it to wiggle stuff round corners and generally spiral up. Ignore the fact that clips through the ceiling. That's work in progress. Right, let's hop over to the next one. Right, okay, so over on the next one. Oh, I left you with a cliffhanger, didn't I? A cliffhanger of how did I get off the mountain. Okay, I got off the mountain by jumping off the mountain and everything was fine. There you go. Spoilers. Except no spoilers because I'm not going to show you. That just happened. Anyway, never mind. Lots of iron ingots. There you go. We'll ride them along. They're all being turned into stuff like this. Iron rods. Surprisingly, you go through more... You probably know this already, but you go through more rods than you do plate. So an awful lot of these are making rods, and then I've got a couple that are still making plates down at the far end. No, that's only 2, really? Only 2 plate makers? Yeah, 2. So only 2 plate makers at the far end, and obviously this is all completely stuffed full of plate because the storage is full. We use some of it, and you can see it's rattling along at a reasonable rate, and we use that to make reinforced plate with. Because that's what you want to do. And there you go, some more pipes waiting to go out. Now, if you've ever got stuff just sat static on your belt, you know that either you're stupendously efficient. I can't limbo under that, can I? No. No, there is no ducking function in here. Or you're being incredibly inefficient. I'll leave you to decide which one it is in my case. Those of you who are loyal to the cause will know the right answer. Right, so we then come round over to these constructors here. This one's turning this into screws. This one is also being turned into screws, and this one here is turning them into what do you know, screws. So there's that. Although strictly speaking, they're bolts rather than anything else. But that's subjective. And then as the screws come off, you can see that these are moving at a fair rate, and that's because we've got velocity belt Mark II going on. And in fact, if it were daylight, this would be far more impressive, and you would be impressed. So I'm going to wait for daylight, and then I'll walk you through this bit so you actually see what's going on. All right, well, it's not quite daylight, but dawn is certainly upon us, and she's not in a good mood. Anyway, the screws, you can see, are rattling along there on the conveyor belt before heading into these 3 fabricators that we've got going on, all of which are endeavouring to make reinforced plate, I think. There you go. So, as you can see, even the speed at which they're going. Now, I split them multiple times, but you have to wait until you've got 24 screws in board before you can make 1 iron plate. And you just kind of go, oh, will you please come on, hurry up. So there we go, that one's done, and now we're down to 12, and then we're going to slowly build up enough to make the next one, which will happen any moment now. So that's not going brilliantly fast, if I'm honest. As you can see, I mean, I could up the tempo significantly, but we'd still be waiting. And following a bit of experimentation, we produced more by splitting the screw count than by having them all routing into one machine. So here's the second one. There you go. You're making iron plate. So you use screws to make iron plate with. Ah, yeah, well, so does that one. You're basically repeating yourself. Okay, fine. And then over here at number 3, you're making rotors, which uses screws and iron rods. You put some screws in the iron rods, bosh, 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 rotor. But you know, it's not going very quick. Now, part of the problem with this is that I built all of this lot really close together, and then refused to be defeated when it kept terrain alignment collisioning when I tried to stick new stuff in. But I didn't give up. It did involve rebuilding quite a lot of these belts and splitters and mergers and whatnot multiple times, and I had a lovely time doing that. It's certainly how I would choose to spend my holidays in the future. Now, this one is also making... Oh, you're making my modular frames. You're waiting for the reinforced iron plate, which we split. So here's the input feed for that. So half of the iron plate, the reinforced plate that we make, goes straight upstairs so that I can use it on things. And the other half comes down here to be made into whatever this was making. Modular frames. All right, good. And then once we're out of there, it all trundles merrily into the output belts that send it willingly and merrily upstairs. There you go. So there's that. And here's a very large ramp that I use to actually get up there in the first place. Right, back to the hub. And we've got some rogue foliage going on that I could possibly remove, but I've chosen not to. We're currently trying to save up enough for I've got my frames on me. Oh, we can sling that in the hatch. There you go. Have it. And then we need 50 motors. Oh, for crying out loud! I mean, that's like the rest of my natural life is going to be dedicated to making poxy motors. But there you go. That's the belt array that we've got going on in there, and it works quite nicely with the reverse belt array coming in the opposite direction. The only downside to this is sorting. There is no, or rather I don't have at the present time access to any kind of sorting item. So at least 2 or if not 3 of those belts they're running empty most of the time. If I had a sorter on there, I could run, you know, multiple different types of product up one belt, thereby or therefore therein freeing up a bit more space to bring some more stuff down from topside. And if I were to extend this base further in terms of general output, I would probably continue around the corner with a similar motif. Let's have a look and see if the motif is viable. Yeah, I reckon it is, because those are my plant generators up there, which I can set fire to if I feel like it. I've still not done anything with concrete. It lives down here. That's fine. It's happy. I've got a full container. That's all splendid. And then this one is the leftovers of the original copper production. Basically, anytime I need to dip in and get a bit more copper wire, I've got lots of it. So that's not a problem. This is the only new bit down here, however, and that's making biofuel, which I don't even use anymore. Everything is coal-powered these days. But you feed, you whip up all of your biomass, fling it in a container here, and it masticates on it up until the point that it turns it into something you can play with. So there you go. There's that. Right. So what are we going to do today? Nothing. That's it. That's your lot. We're done. That's the end of the series. Why is it the end of the series? There is still yet more to accomplish. I lost an internet connection one time. That's me. That's offline me. I'm currently online me. I can't remember how much good stuff offline me has on me, but I'm getting a little bit damp of ankle regardless. So, yeah, I mean, it's always nice to see just some weirdo standing out in the middle of nowhere. That's what you want to see. Let's go and have a quick look and see if the rotor construction the motor construction setup is actually accomplishing anything at the moment. You never know, it might be. What else did I do? I did something else. Oh no, the iron belt is maybe worth a visit. Is it? It probably isn't. Hold on, I've gone one too far. No. I'll tell you what I will do though. All right, no, we won't wrap it there. What we're going to do today is I'm going to build the truck ramp thing that I had in mind, just so you can see it come out of my head and into reality. It's probably not worth the wait, but you know, there it is. Bang some more of that on there. How many of those have we got now? 34, and you need a couple of those per motor. So how many motors did you say we had? 33. We need another 17. Well, you know what? I think launching a spaceship to finish us off is a magical way to end the series. So let's do that. And good. Right, I'm going to go and do something frustrating involving ramps. I'll be back as soon as I've completed it. Okay, right, I've constructed, and therefore we're in business. The only thing is I've not tested, so who actually knows? Well, we'll find out, shall we? So the idea was that trucks would deliver at the top end, because that's where we do most of our kind of what's it processing, and then head down a series of ramps. Oh yeah, look at that. In order to get to ground level. Some kind of markings there might be valuable. I had to reconfigure my stone belt a little bit, just so I could get out underneath like this. And then we're off into the wild green yonder. And I've no idea what kind of peril awaits me out here, but I'm relatively certain it will be perilous. And that's good. I've tried running over all manner of local inhabitants. Steady! No! Oh! Spotted the cliff edge there just a smidge too late, but it's a robust truck and I'm a robust truck driver, and we're back in the valley of where the heck am I? I did spot a crashed drop pod up there, you know. We might go and have a quick shufty since we're in the area. Anyone would think you'd done this deliberately in order to create a moment of drama and tension to round off the series, but no. I have not done that deliberately. I was going to park up and admire the view. But that didn't really work. Fortunately, I've got resources coming out of every orifice at the moment, so I can always build what I need. Right, open the drop pod. What do you need? Well, as luck would have it, crank it. Right, what do you got for me? Oh, a hard disk. Perfect. Right, I'll take that. Now, hard disks are actually kind of cool. This is my second hard disk that I've managed to salvage. What's that? Bit of reinforced plate. Don't mind if I do. Yeah, I mean, they're particularly good because they tend to contain alternate recipes, which means that all of a sudden, instead of making screws out of iron, you can make them out of copper or other exotic compounds that one might be interested in. Is that it? Usually there's a little bit more tat lying around than that, but no, I suppose not this time. Let's go and see what the eye can see. Cliffs, mostly. Where's my space elevate? That should show up. It's there, look. It's basking in its subtlety. How am I going to get back up there with my truck? I mean, me going back up there, easy peasy, but bringing the truck as well, less easy challenging. And I bought a little bit of fuel for the chainsaw, but I didn't bring any for the truck. So I may have to fabricate some as we go. Oh, hold on, what's over there? That looked like a ramp. Well, that you've spotted that. If it is a ramp, that's quite a disappointing way to end the thing. Oh no, hold on. This is an area of smog. Although there's a slug up there. Come on, you're taking fumigation damage. Back up and Monge 2 on something, would you? Now, you know what I've got back at the house? What have you got back at the house? Medical kits. What have you got here? Nothing. Great. Okay, well that's off the menu then. I've made medical kits. I figured, that'd be a sensible thing to carry around with you while you were off on a bit of an explore. But yeah, I haven't been here since I originally got lost here, and fought the many merry natives, which I really don't want to do again because I don't have the resources for it. Anyway, we're travelling off into the distance. I've got 2/3 of a tank. No, I've got 3/4 of a tank of fuel left on me. This bit's grey. Look, that's nice. That's because it's in shadow. Ooh, look at the beautiful waterfalls. You know what you want? You want some hydroelectric plumbed into that. Now, another part of me is going, I wonder if this thing's waterproof. Okay, well, it's going to depend how deep this is. It's fairly deep. Alright, well, we didn't flood it there. Oh, let's see how he responds. Cop this. Well, okay. No, oh, he's still in the game. Okay, right, hang on. Let's see how he likes a second go. This is what you get, pal. Yeah, this'll learn you for causing me much torment in the first couple of episodes. This is how you finish the series. Repeatedly running over the natives in a very small rectangular truck. He doesn't seem to be any worse for the wear, though. Seems to just kind of... he's taken it within his stride. I died there, you know. Twice, if I recall correctly. No, he doesn't seem to be... Right, there's a whole bunch of them. Oi! You lot! I've got a surprise for you! Right, that's the... Green slug! Oh, we want that. Oh, no. What if I were to park on top of one? I do donuts on his head or something. They have not identified my truck as being a potentially edible or indeed hostile force. Sit back over him again. Yeah. This is what you get for messing with me, the space truck driver. This would be a very bad time to run out of fuel. Can I trip this dude up? Yep. Oh, I've deep sixed me truck. That's not good. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah. All right. Okay. Anyway, look, I've been Colonel Failure and so forth. Yeah, he's still in the game. I've just sunk my truck. I hadn't I'll tell you what. Look, now that I pulled him away, let's go get the slug. It's because I was mean to the wildlife. Take it. I ain't got time for this. Go. And I'm totally safe. And that's going to wrap it up for this series. I do hope you've enjoyed my many varied exploits. Oh, I sunk me truck. That said, it was quite cheap. That also said, I now have to walk back to my space elevate, which is quite a long way away. Oh well. There you go. Wonder if the insurance will cover this. Thanks for watching. Cheerio, Pit. Go away. Oh, I almost told him to go away using other language there. Cheerio again. Cheerio! No, I hadn't intended to drive my truck off a cliff, and then subsequently, no, I didn't intend to sink my truck into the water. But we know, at least, that if you do take your truck into deep water, you've lost your truck. At least until you can find some way to agitate it back out again. Oh, well, you know, it's not that good a flipping truck in the first place, frankly. But there you go. That's it. That's the series. Why? Why end it here? Surely there are more adventures to come. Honestly, it's because it's an awful lot of effort to get to the point where I've got something to talk about. Running around and exploring is all well and good, but unless you're getting some sense of progression at the same time, then there's not an awful lot in there. And there will be other finer casters than myself who are making really simply beautiful factories. But that's not what I'm about. Something that does the job is all I'm after. Doing an extra 17.6 plates per hour is just something that frankly I have no interest in. But there you go. But that's factory games all over. That it's largely best played on your own without the prying eyes of others interfering with your mojo. Anyway, there will be a fresh series of something new coming along fairly soon. So if you haven't already and you like the pacing of these escapades, I invite you to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Although if you've made it this far, you've probably subscribed already, I reckon. Yeah, I reckon he probably did. So that renders this portion of this conversation between us largely redundant. So I'll be on my way.